Hello there, I just came back from Greenland and Iceland, and I recently wrote a quite long article on my website about my structure, my file structure, my backup structure, and basically my workflow on the road and in the office. It's quite a long article, definitely check it out on my website, but this video is going to be just about that. It's going to be much shorter than the article. The article is going to be much more in-depth, but this video is just a short explanation how I work on the road and how I make a seamless workflow with on the road and in the office. Let's get started. Okay, so before we dive in this laptop, which I use on the road, just want to quickly mention on the road workstation for me, very important that it's very fast. This is the Apple M1. I also have the Asus ZenBook Pro 14 OLED, PC alternative, also very fast, but bottom line is fast workstation on the road. Very important, okay? So you can get stuff done on the road already before you move it into the office. Also regarding fast workflow on the road, I have my A7R5 here. That's my main camera. It has 61 megapixel, so it has quite big files. So it's important for me to also use fast SD cards. Mainly I use the Sony TUF CF Express cards. This is a 2 terabyte. It's actually huge, but I'm a Sony ambassador, so that's how I have it. But most of you probably use much smaller, but the main point is get something that is fast. You want to save your pictures fast and transfer them fast to your computer. Fast workflow, always very important. Then as a backup, I have this small SanDisk drives. Actually, recently there was some bad publicity about these things. For me, they never failed, so I still use them. Important backup on the road, fast backup. This MacBook here, it has a 2 terabyte storage, so also I make sure I have enough storage, and fast workstation. Everything need to be smooth and fast on the road. So let's go into this laptop to see how I structure files on the road. So actually how I structure files on the road, it's very simple. I'm gonna go in more detail on how I structure files at home in the office, because this is much more important. But on the road, it doesn't really matter that much. But there's a few key points that I want to discuss to make everything super smooth upon transferring your files on the road to the office, so that you don't spend much time on that. So first of all, you can see here my folder on my hard drive. I make sure they're all in the same folder, and here it is Greenland 2023. I spent there about 10 days, so you can see here I organize everything by day. I could put a date as well, but I don't care that much about the date. I just care about the day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That are kind of a structure, but for everyone this is of course different. But what is most important is that you use a structure that you use every time. So here, Greenland 2023, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And every time I shoot another day, I put the files from my card, put them in the next day, for example, day 11, and then I simply synchronize the folder, and it gets added here in Lightroom. So I do everything in Lightroom. Of course, maybe not all of you do that. I already do it for more than 10 years, so this workflow works for me. All right, so putting all the files in the Lightroom catalog, sorting by day. Next is, of course, important. How do you go through these files? Because sometimes on the road you have time, sometimes you don't. But if I have time, I like to put the files that I'm going to process into a collection. So here we see my collections, and as you can see here, there is a collection, Greenland 2023 TBP, that means to be processed. So this is a collection set. So I made this create collection set, and in that collection set, there are 3 collections. That is Greenland 2023, there are many files here. So basically these are still files that I'm going to process. Let's open this up a little bit more. Here we see final, so these are basically files that I kind of finished. And here we have some behind the scenes shots from people on the tour, basically. So how I organize that, this Greenland 2023, the normal folder. Basically, if I set this to target collection, I press right click, set as target collection. Then I can go through my days here in the Greenland folder. So basically I can go from the start I go here, begin, I just go through them, and every picture that I like, that I think, oh, this is nice to process, I basically press B, the shortcut B. And what it does, you see, edit to and remove from, added to target collection. So because I set this collection now as the target collection, I can cycle through these images and then press B and add it to that collection. Okay, add to target collection. If you press B again, it will remove it again from that collection. So I just simply go to all of my files and everything that I like, I press B and it gets added to that collection. And if I have time, I try to do this every day. If I don't, I do it in the airplane, but I make sure that I sort everything already on this laptop. Okay, so you can see here are all these files that I kind of sorted that are nice for me, that I think, okay, I'm gonna process those. And then whenever I have time and if I process them, I put them in the final folder. So that are files that I already processed. So you can see here some images that I already processed, and in my opinion they are done, but of course in the office I will check them again and see if I still need to do changes. But that's my final folder. And then I have some behind the scenes as well. But anyway, first of all, they come into this folder, right? Into the to be processed folder. So that is the most important thing, sorting the files, okay? So once you have sorted all these files, then they are, you know, this laptop catalog. It's just every trip I just delete everything again. So the structure is not that important as long as you sort it by day or whatever you want to sort it. But now that you have everything sorted in these collections, now comes the thing that for me works very well. So here are all these files that are still need to be processed, right? So what I am doing, at some point they're all in this collection, 349 images. I select all the files, I press right click, and I say set rating, and you can give them a star rating. So in this case I have set them to 3 stars. So that means all these files, set rating to 3, they have 3 stars. So the 3-star files are the files that still need to be processed. Now I go to my final folder, and then I press again right click, set rating, and I press 5 stars. Okay, so these are all 5 stars. The process that still need to be processed are 3 stars, and the behind the scenes I'm gonna set rating 1 star. Okay, and it's very important that these are, you know, sorted by rating, because this makes our life much easier when we copy it to our main workstation. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna select this whole collection set, and we're gonna select all the files, Command A, select all the files, right click, and then we're gonna do metadata, metadata, save metadata to files. And this is super important that you do this, save metadata to files, because what this does, it saves all your edits that you did in Lightroom, and most importantly, the rating. And this rating is baked into an XMP file that is coming with all of these raw files. So if we go right click, show in Finder, we can see every raw file has now an XMP file. And this XMP file includes these ratings and also edits. So now we are actually already kind of done. We are ready to go to our workstation. And how this works, we copy all of the files to our workstation, and then basically we sort by rating and put them again in collections. And this will take you less than 5 minutes, and the structure will be exactly the same as on your laptop, as on your workstation at home. And this makes for a super fast, seamless workflow, but I'm gonna explain you much more about this now when we move into my office to my main workstation. Let's go. All right, so we are in the office here. I brought my laptop into the office, and the first thing that's important is my QNAP NAS device, which I use to store all of my files on here at home. It's right here. You don't see it here that well on the screen. Let me put some B-roll on that. The QNAP NAS device through 10 GB Ethernet via a switch. which makes sure that there's a 10 GB Ethernet throughout all my house. But to have even a faster transfer of big files, because I captured a lot of images in Greenland, this QNAP NAS also has a Thunderbolt extension card, which allows me to connect this laptop through Thunderbolt to the QNAP, which allows for a super fast transfer speed. So let's do that first. I'm gonna just simply take the Thunderbolt cable from the QNAP, put it in the laptop, and transfer all of these files. Okay, so I go into Finder, and here I see my Dross QNAP. That's the name of my QNAP device. Thunderbolt, that means this is the Thunderbolt connection. I click it and I see everything that is on this NAS device. Now it's important that this NAS device is connected to my home office, to my main workstation. So this is the file structure that we see here. So here is important to have a very good file structure. So my main folder is projects. Then I have here photography. And then you see here I have all my years. And in my years, I have months. And in the months, I have all my shoots. So that's a much better structure than obviously on this mobile workstation, which doesn't matter that much because we are on the road. But when we put it at home on the main machine, it's important to keep that structure so that you, after many years, can still find all of your shoots. So we're going to go here into September, and this is actually where we want to put the Greenland folder. So let's go into the picture folder, because this is where my Greenland folder is located. Here, Greenland 2023, simply Command C, and then we go back here, projects, photography 2023, September, and Command V, paste it. And now, because we are connected through Thunderbolt, we see an incredible speed. So around 10 minutes to copy about 400 GB of data. You can see how fast that is going, super fast. That's why we have that Thunderbolt port on this QNAP device to copy all the files super quick. Before we move on and import all these files on the main workstation, it's important to note how this NAS device is connected through all the devices. I already explained it briefly, but I do definitely recommend you to check out my in-depth article on my website that has a diagram. It explains everything in very detailed. That's not what this video is about. I want to keep it a little bit shorter, but definitely check out that article if you want to see how everything is connected. Now let's move on to the main workstation and import all of these files in the main catalog of my Lightroom. Okay, so I moved over a little bit. Here we are at the main workstation. The files are copied onto the NAS. And the great thing is now that the NAS is, like I said, it's connected through the network with 10 GB Ethernet connection on all of my devices, including this main workstation. Here I am in Lightroom. I go to Library, New Folder. I go to my QNAP device, Project, Photography, 2023, September. Here's my Greenland 2023 folder that I just copied, and I select that. I can also just simply click here into September. I dragged it to the favorite folder. It's much faster. Then I don't have to go through all of these folders. I just go to September folder right here, Greenland 2023, choose, and then it's going to import all of the files. So here I can see all the files in that folder. It's taking a while to show everything, and it's connected through the 10 GB, and it's basically very fast. Of course, not as fast as the Thunderbolt port, but we press import and it's going to import all the files, create all the previews, and basically do all that, importing the files. So the great thing is now that all the files are going to be imported, all the edits and all this metadata is going to show up right here. Because why? I did that save to metadata and I gave these ratings to the files on the laptop, and they are basically getting copied right here on the workstation. So it's super fast to have everything like exactly how I had it on my laptop The only thing I need to do is wait for them wait for Lightroom to import the files. And basically then I go to attribute right here in the library and I set the rating. For example, remember when we did the 3 stars for the to be processed. So make sure you select this one, equal to. Standard it's set to equal or more, but set it to equal to. Then the 3 stars, and then here you see the files are starting to pop up once they get imported. All these files are here. You see they're becoming more and more because Lightroom is still importing them. And then all we need to do is basically just select these files. Control A, you see all the files here. Once it's done, I can already do it now, but prefer to do when it's done. Let's wait a little bit before they are all done. Right, all the files are imported. You see 3 stars, that is the files to be processed. So basically what I can do is select all the files, Command A, scroll down here, go to collections, create collection, and name it again Greenland 2023 to be processed. You see this name is already in use because I did it before. I already have that collection, so I'm not going to do it now, but you create it and then all these photos are in there. And the same basically goes for the 5 stars. I can select equal to 5 stars now. These were the photos that were already finished, that I processed already. I gave them 5 stars. I can Command A, collections, create new collection, and I can say, for example, Greenland 2023 finished, and make that collection as well. And 1 star was the behind the scenes shots, which we can see here. So you see, super fast. In a matter of minutes, I copied all the files, the metadata included, sorted them, put them again into the collections at the main workstation. It's a super fast workflow. And then in the end, I have here my catalog and I add them to my collection of Greenland images over the years so that I have everything Greenland in one folder from all the years. You can see them here, some files from this year and also files from last year. So I put them all in the Greenland folder in the end. This is how I sort my files. Of course, different for everyone. The most important thing is structure. Well, to summarize this video, the most important thing what we did is discussed how to sort the files on your laptop, on the road, make a structure, give a rating, do some editing, save the EXIF data to XMP files, very important in Lightroom, then copy them to your main workstation, then the EXIF data through those XMP files is moved on there as well. You can see the ratings and then sort them and put them in the correct folders again. It's very fast. Well, what I didn't really discuss in this video is how the NAS, how everything works, how everything is set up. I already mentioned before. Please check out my article if you're interested in that. This NAS device, it has like 50 terabyte on mine, multiple hard drives, all connected through RAID, all that, quite technical. Not going into detail that much in this video, but definitely check out that article if you want to see exactly which NAS I'm using, how it's set up with the switch. I'll also link all of the gear from this video, the monitor, the NAS device, all that stuff. I'll link it into the description below, so definitely check that out as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was useful. If you like it, definitely subscribe to the channel, put a like. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer everything and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.